For those of you unaware, CJ and I host this podcast from a basement in the city of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is the city of bridges. The Andy Warhol Bridge, the Roberto Clemente Bridge, the Smithfield Street Bridge, Fort Pitt Bridge, Fort Duquesne Bridge, Hot Metal Bridge, 16th Street Bridge. I could go on and on for hours about how many bridges we have in Pittsburgh. But I also would like to keep the listeners. But it's only fitting that we bring this next episode to you from the city of bridges. We are about to discuss 1992's The Bridges of Madison County. Welcome to You've Got Mails. Hi, CJ. My family's out of town for the next 4 or 5 days, and it's real lonely around here. I was wondering if you'd be interested in just sticking around and maybe doing a podcast with me.
It depends. Can I shamelessly shill National Geographic magazine?
Absolutely, you can. Welcome to You've Got Mails. I'm here with CJ. I'm Jason, and today we'll be talking about 1995's steamy romance.
So
Bridges
hot you
of
gotta
Madison
air
County.
it out on the front porch in the middle of the night.
The Bridges of Madison County. What the fuck was that? I don't want to jump too far ahead, but holy shit.
That was a body double making their money that day. That's what that was.
So, as I said, talking about 1995's The Bridges of Madison County, directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Clint Eastwood, and to my surprise, a pretty hot Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
So I wasn't the only one feeling this.
You kind of forget that at one point she was younger than 60.
I know, but I've just never, in my mind, I've never seen Meryl Streep as a sex symbol. But at one point in this movie, I said to myself, is Meryl Streep hot? Because I think she is. Like, I think I was hot for Meryl Streep.
Was it the accent?
No, fuck. God damn it. Can we...
Was it Italian?
So I want to say, I guess it's a testament maybe to the acting, that when she first started to speak and had this Italian accent, like a bippity-boppity Italian accent, I was like, oh, God, do I got to put up with this accent the whole movie? But I forgot about it pretty quickly.
Yeah, thankfully she also tried Russian, Czechoslovakian. She went through a few different, like, Eastern European accents there.
I read something where this movie, based on a novel by a guy, I believe his name's Robert James Waller. He wrote the book, in about 11 days as a joke. Not a joke. He wrote it in 11 days, and it wasn't meant to be published or, like, given to anyone. He handed it out to friends and family. Like, who writes a novel just as, like, a gift? But I guess somebody read it and saw some potential in it and decided to publish it. It became like a best-selling novel. Not a well-reviewed selling novel. Pretty much critically shit on by everyone. This is basically a Harlequin romance novel.
What a humble guy. It's like, I had a little extra time last week. I wrote this book for you guys. Merry Christmas.
Like, I can barely, like, do my laundry on most weeks without it being a huge pain in my ass. This guy's writing a novel. But yeah, so I guess in the novel, she's Italian. And when they shopped this movie around, they didn't want to make her Italian. Like, that was like a big sticking point where the people that wanted to produce this movie wanted to change it. And they stuck by their guns for whatever reason, kept her as an Italian. And eventually Steven Spielberg got his hands on this, and he was actually going to direct this. He wanted to direct it right after Schindler's List, but this was like the same year. Spielberg had a big 1993. Like, he did, I think, Jurassic Park and Schindler's List in the same year. And at that point, he was just spent. And he was like, I'm just going to go ahead and sit back on this one. And
lazy fuck.
Clint Eastwood was already attached to star as Robert. And
manic pixie dream boy Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. I mean, in the same vein, when I was like, is Meryl Streep hot? I was also like, is Clint Eastwood hot? Like, what the fuck? Why is he the sex symbol in this movie?
Asking for a whole different reason. Is he hot?
He looked like the
65-year-old manic dream boy.
He looked like the Crypt Keeper. Like, his skin was so tight on his skeleton.
Oh.
I was just like, he looked emaciated. I mean, but hey, maybe that's what some chicks are into. It's clearly what Meryl Streep was into.
I think for guys, you put a camera in their hand, you add a couple points. Like, there's something about, like, photographers.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he was an artiste, and he was new and exciting. So this movie, I guess we should talk about a little bit what it's about. Meryl Streep plays Francesca Johnson, who is pretty much an Italian war bride. Met her husband during the war while he was stationed in Italy. And as every woman's dream, she is whisked away to the beautiful cornfields of Iowa, where she is put to work on a tractor with a hoe in her hand. And she is pretty much just at the point where she is disenchanted with life. She's got this husband who has as much personality as the scarecrow out in the cornfield, and two what seem to be ungrateful, horrible children. And she is just kind of like, ugh. They're getting ready to leave. They're going to the Illinois State Fair to sell the prize steer.
And let's, you know what? Let's get right to it.
Okay.
We compare just about every movie to The Notebook at this point.
Yeah.
This movie has the most direct comparison to The Notebook.
Do you think?
They're reading a notebook.
Oh yeah,
about this torrid love affair.
Yeah, that's true. The framing device of this movie is kind of it starts out before you even meet the two main characters. You meet her awful children grown up, and they really are just awful, like annoying, and some of the worst acting I've seen. Oh, good lord!
Yeah, they must have been theater actors. Like they were so stiff to the camera.
It's just funny because it's you put two, I mean, Meryl Streep and Clint Eastwood, great actors, like really, really good actors. The acting in this movie for me was on point with the two of them, and then you got to keep cutting back to the scene of like these. It was like watching like a Law and Order episode, like just really bad, like TV. It was
the exact opposite of the Notebook.
Really bad.
I remember the Notebook thinking, I love it when they cut to these old people, like in the future.
Yeah, really bad TV acting. But you kind of find out that this whole movie is about this sordid affair that happens over the course of about 4 or 5 days, while the husband takes the two kids away to the Illinois State Fair. Francesca's home alone, and just magically Clint Eastwood rolls up in a pickup truck and kicks off this kind of whirlwind romance. And you find out about it all through the kids. The mother has died. Francesca's dead. This is also a weird thing in this movie is when you meet these characters, it's already been established in the movie that they've both passed away at this point. So you're seeing the story of two people who are no longer with us. But they find out that her mother...
The story's there to inform the young.
That's right. The kids find out that in her final wishes, the mother asked to be cremated and thrown off of a covered bridge in Iowa. And
how do you want to go?
How do I want to go?
Yeah.
It doesn't, honest to God, it doesn't matter to me.
I want the exact same thing as her, but not cremated.
Just have your body thrown over a covered bridge.
In Iowa.
In Iowa.
Yeah, I've never been. Might as well.
That's all right. Weird, but okay. Wow, I got me. Anyhow... the kids find out that mom wants to be cremated, and they are just aghast by this, which was this is right when I was like,
well, she's Italian.
Some of the worst acting I've ever seen in a movie, when the lawyer goes, oh, she'd like to be cremated, and the son goes, cremated? Like he'd never even thought of the possibility. Like, this is such a horrible thing. You come to find out that, their dad bought two plots, and one was for him. He's already passed away. One was meant for Francesca. So I guess in that realm of things, it would be odd to find out that, she knew where she was going to be buried and decided that's not where she wanted.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's just like, we're going to toss mom off a bridge 2 counties over. Why?
Yeah, exactly. But they find a note, written to her from Clint Eastwood's character Robert, kind of setting up that they had something in the past, some kind of romance.
Yes.
And then through a series of, it's almost like a goddamn treasure hunt, because mom leaves them another note, and then there's a key in that note, and then there's a chest they open up with another note, and then that note leads them to 3 notebooks. And at this point, you're like, mom is just fucking with these kids.
What do they call that when you send like a team of people around to find things? And
it's a scavenger hunt.
Yes. So they have a scavenger hunt, and the reward for finishing the scavenger hunt is mom's a hoe.
Yeah, exactly. You found out your mom was banging some dude while you were showing off the prize steer in Illinois.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that's the kind of the framing device that sets this up. So you're reading notebooks that Francesca left for the kids, kind of explaining, because no one ever found out about the affair. Her whole reason was she said that, as you get older, it's not so much about people remembering you, how you were. You want them to know who you were. So she would, I guess, rather air it out kind of like she did on the porch that night, air it out for everyone to see, so they kind of know like why she wants this as her final wishes is to be cremated and thrown over the bridge. They find out that Robert, Clint Eastwood's character, died maybe a few years before that, and his final wishes were also to be cremated and thrown over the bridge. So you come to find out that, they had this connection and she wants to spend the afterlife with him, not with this husband that was with her.
Yeah, afterlife is a biological taint on the side of a bridge in Iowa.
Yes, exactly. So that's kind of how we get the whole ball rolling. It's about this sordid affair between the two.
So I'm glad to hear you don't like these kids either. Like, the first thing, one of my first notes on this is about the dinner scene when they're first introducing the flashback portion, the actual main portion of this.
Yeah.
And she's serving dinner to this husband, these ungrateful family.
Yeah.
And I'm not normally a big fan of, people stepping out on their wives or husbands.
Yeah.
My note here says, I hope she fucks this guy in front of them. Like, I hated them so much. They could not get off the screen fast enough for me.
So I have in my notes right here, no wonder she had an affair. Family is awful.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, they do a really good job of just kind of showing that she is just in a rut and not really happy with the life that she's been dealt. She wanted to come to America. It was a dream. And then she got here and realized that the dream is not so dreamy. It's cooking and cleaning and dealing with these ungrateful people. I don't want to say that about the husband. And I mean, the kids, they definitely made the kids out to be annoying. But the kids also went on a bit of a journey, as you kind of find out through the movie. The
husband's a war vet. He's a little boring.
Yeah, but he's not. But like she says, she's describing him to Clint Eastwood, and she says he's very clean, which I don't know why that's like a prerequisite is like when you're describing your mate. But also just that he's very tender, caring, loving. Like, he doesn't sound like a bad guy.
No.
He's just is what he is. He's a farmer in Iowa. He's not setting the world on fire. He's not a traveling photographer who's been to Africa and India and all these great places.
He doesn't live in New York or LA like she probably thought she was going to when she left Italy.
Yeah, I think she had more dreams of like seeing the world and like not, I mean, she's in a farmhouse and like she says, there's nobody around for miles. Like, there's no really human interaction. And when there is human interaction, they're basically just gossiping about everybody else in town.
Yeah.
It's not really the ideal place for her to be.
Man, if Clint Eastwood would have showed up a day earlier, just caught the husband outside, would have been like, yeah, bridge is 2 miles down that way. Fucking roll the credits. Nothing would have ever happened.
The timing of it was very convenient. Let's talk about that for a minute. So, literally, the family pulls out of the driveway. They make it seem like not 30 seconds later, Eastwood rolls in this pickup truck, and you find out that he's a National Enquirer photographer. He's doing
National Geographic.
I'm sorry, National Geographic. He's doing a piece on covered bridges in Iowa, because that's, what gets the people going, apparently.
Fuck, the 60s must have been so boring.
It had to have been. But he's looking for a certain bridge, and, Francesca tries to give him directions to it. She's terrible at giving, although she gives directions like most Pittsburghers do. She's like, you're going to want to go down to the end of the lane. You're going to see a yellow dog. Turn left at the yellow dog. None of the street names, nothing. It's just all landmarks.
You'll see a place. It looks like a Pizza Hut. It's not a Pizza Hut.
Used to be a food land. You want to make a right there. So it's very on brand for Pittsburgh directions.
This conversation had one of my favorite lines in the entire movie.
Which is?
Where he asks what she was doing. And she goes, well, I was going to have some iced tea and then split the atom.
Yeah, which
I think is a comedy line. But my juvenile mind immediately went to, is that masturbating? Like, is that splitting the atom? Did you think the same thing?
No, I did not. That's not, I don't think that's 1960s code for flicking the bean.
I had to Google that.
And what came up? Anything?
That's what I was like. Is she chilling off back there? Like, what is this?
No, I don't think. I think she was just trying to be funny, which I found the humor in it. So, because she's so bad at directions, she immediately is just like, well, it'd be easier if I just go with you. And hops right in the truck with this strange man.
Well, she checks the bed. She makes sure there's not, like...
That's after they get to where they're going.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, there wasn't any dead women back there then either.
So, what gets me is she doesn't even ask him why he's looking for the bridge. She doesn't know if this is like a one-way trip and then back. Like, she's like, just, yeah, I'll take you to the bridge, and then maybe I'll walk home. I don't know what her thought was.
Yeah, maybe this guy's been putting bodies in there well before he died.
But, in this short little truck ride to the bridge, the sexual tension is thick.
Oh, right off the top. Very first 5 minutes they were together in this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, what are they waiting for?
Oh, I know.
Like, it's obvious what's about to happen.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like they make up their minds immediately. Like I don't. Clint Eastwood, as they're leaving the drive, sees the mailbox. It says Mr. and Mrs. Johnson. In my childish brain, I don't know if you noticed that her husband's name is Richard Johnson. Which is,
His name's Dick Dick?
his name's Dick Dick. So that was enjoyable for me. So he already knows she's married. It comes up in conversation. This does not stop the man from just putting on some game. Like, just very flirtatious. She's kind of, you can tell she's into it, but she's also kind of acting very timid. He reaches across to get something out of the glove box, brushes her leg, she jerks away.
Oh, they knew exactly what the hell they were doing whole time.
I mean, I feel like she's already super interested in this guy, but also, she's a married woman, and this wouldn't be the proper thing to do. So, it takes her to this covered bridge, and from there, they basically just spend the entire day together. And she just keeps coming up with other reasons to keep him around. They come back from the bridge. She invites him in for some iced tea. Iced tea turns into dinner. Dinner turns into brandy. Brandy turns into him leaving for the night, which I was, I wasn't sure at that point how far
Honestly,
we were going to get on that first date.
The alternative is like plowing out in the fucking field. I mean, I'd entertain Stalin. Like, just to not do farm work for the afternoon.
Yeah, and there's a point at the beginning when this movie also has like a bit of it's a voiceover, but it's kind of her reading the notebook. This was great because I imagine the kids reading this. She's saying, your dad was about to take you away for 4 days to go to the state fair, and honestly, I couldn't wait for you all to be gone.
Me neither.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh goddamn, that's gotta be
man,
hard.
that's pretty rough. And then I was like, oh no, I get it.
Yeah, that's gotta be hard for
understand.
the kids to read. But you kind of get the feeling she just wanted to be alone for a little bit.
They left her with a dog that was there for one scene.
Now he shows up a couple times.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Well, he was probably just running loose. I don't know if you noticed. Every dog in Iowa is just free reign of the streets. Like every time they drove away, there was a dog running beside the car, or following them, chasing them somewhere. Who let the dogs out?
Woof.
Woof. So that's our first encounter with these two. They spend the night. There's so much sexual tension as he gets up to leave. Almost kiss, but they both kind of think better of it, and he turns away. And they almost have like a bit of a. Is it that scene where they have like a little bit of a tiff at the end where, you don't know if they're going to see each other again, like because he kind of says like, oh, I'm sorry I spoiled the night. I forget exactly what he says.
Yeah, and he just jumps up. He's like, damn, I really thought I was going to get some. I better back off now and let it cool down.
But he kind of gives her, his itinerary for the next day. He's going to a different bridge at dawn. He's got to shoot when the light's good. Same bridge they went to. He was just there scouting. And he leaves. So this is,
Oh, not before he has a great conversation. He describes a trip to Africa. And this is, for me, like Clint Eastwood starts talking about Africa. And I was like, oh, here comes the Clint Eastwood I know. Here we go. This guy's going to pull out an empty chair and start talking to some people. And no, he kept it. This was the weirdest Clint Eastwood movie I've ever seen. Like, he is normally the gruffest son of a bitch ever.
And when I joked around, I said, is Clint Eastwood hot? Like, he's not your normal typical, like, for me, like a leading man, like a sex symbol. But god damn it, if he isn't likable in this.
He's likable,
he just seems like a very sweet, like, nice man. Like, it's definitely peels away that tough guy image a bit for him. Like, he is. He seems like a catch. God damn it.
A cat? I don't know. His character seems like somebody I'd have a beer with, not split the atom.
He seems like a catch for Francesca. I really wanted it to work out for these two crazy kids who are in their 50s.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about...
She was 45.
Oh, was she? Clint Eastwood just looks like he's like at least 70 in this, but I'm sure he was only like 45
He was
too.
65.
He was 65? Oh, so I was close.
Yeah.
He did look 70.
And he did look 70. Because
how old is Clint Eastwood now? 100?
Yeah, he's 94, I think.
Good Lord. He looked like he was 94 in this movie, so I mean, at least nothing's really changed for him. Let's talk about the story that he tells about being in Africa for a minute, because I have this in my notes. He's telling a story about how he was in Africa doing a shoot, photographer. And the story we come in mid-story, and he's kind of like, I was in the bushes, my pants were around my ankles, I had 3 cameras around my neck, and this gorilla spots me and looks at me with a real lavacious, is that the word?
I think he says lavacious.
Lavacious look. And then goes on to imply that maybe he was sexually assaulted by this gorilla. Am I wrong? Is that the impression you got?
It's a damn shame this movie was made before we had really good CG.
Because then he kind of like jokes around about, oh, we still stay in contact. You know, it was a female gorilla. She had lipstick on. I'm like, I think this guy fucked a gorilla. And Meryl Streep just plays it off like a champ.
It could have been like a gorilla, like a freedom fighter.
It could have been.
I just watched the gears in your head shut off for a second.
Yeah, you threw me. I like to think it was an actual gorilla.
Yeah.
So, anywho, Clint Eastwood, after telling about his escapades with gorillas, leaves for the night. Meryl Streep, like, really just kind of
airs it out on the front porch.
All horned up. Like, you know, she's sitting around. She's trying to read a book. She can't think, you know. The horniness has just overtaken her. She gets up at one point and just does her robe and bears everything for the world to see as far as Iowa goes, which means no one saw anything. But she's just kind of on the porch, just letting everything hang out.
Getting bit by mosquitoes.
And then and then she gets like bit by mosquitoes, like just attacked by bugs. So she has to stop doing that.
Which do you think she had, like, I had to look it up. It's a body double.
Yes, 100% a body double.
A body double with triple the size chest.
Yeah, and just like a washboard stomach. Like, I was just like, why? Why when they cast this body double, did they not at least try to make it look like a 45-year-old like middle-aged housewife? Like I'm pretty sure like Jenna Jameson was the body double for like, it was certainly
she was stacked.
It was a porn star's body because, you know, she does that little thing and then she goes up to the bedroom and she's I guess icing down her bug bites. Oh, she's putting stuff on her mosquito bites, pulls the robe open again, but you only see her from like the chest down and just porn star body on Meryl Streep. Ridiculous. And then, you know, she decides that she knows where Clint Eastwood's going to be the next morning, so she drives out there, puts a little note on the covered bridge.
She knows what she is doing.
Yeah, oh yeah, she 100% knows what she's doing at that point, and drives away. And the note is just basically, you know, once you're done with your evening, or once you're done with your job for the day, would you like to come over and have dinner again? Or she calls it supper, which is very Midwestern to me. No one calls dinner supper around these parts. But yeah, she invites him over for supper. So that's their first meeting, you know, and the next day we get a great, and this falls in line with our secondary, you know, our working people. You know, we got to see how good Channing Tatum was as a janitor. Now we're seeing how great Meryl Streep is as a farmer. Because there was a serious farm montage where she is just picking things out of the garden. She is hoeing. She is on a tractor. She is just sweating her ass off.
That life seems exhausting.
It does. And no wonder. I got no problem with Meryl Streep wanting a better life for herself because this just looks like an awful time for her.
We get a little something on the side. We need another hoe on this farm. That's the way it should be.
And boy, do we have one for you. So Clint Eastwood finally, he gets the note, gives her a call and agrees to come over for dinner for the second night. And throughout this, we kind of get a scene in the little town. Like there's a little throwaway line when they first meet about how a woman in town cheated on her husband. And now that's all the town talks about.
Yes.
Well, we kind of get to see that, you know, Clint Eastwood's at a diner after he's already agreed to go to dinner. And this woman walks in and the whole diner just quiets down and turns and looks. And you hear all the little whispers and everything. And everybody's just totally shitty to her. She ends up leaving the diner. He walks outside. She's crying in her car. Like this poor woman is just like.
You think he was like
the scarlet
maybe she's
letter.
The easier one like this.
Well, at first, because like when
he
she
just
walks
gets in the car and he's like, "Do you know where this bridge is?"
Yeah, when she walks in, he's like, "Come over and sit down next to me." Like he calls her over because he can see that she doesn't know what to do. And I was like, "Oh, is this going to be like a thing where he hits on all the women in this town?" But it wasn't. But it kind of gets the wheels turning for him, and he calls Francesca back, and he's like, "Hey, I ran into that woman we talked about. You know, I can see like it's rough for her. Like, are you sure you want to like meet up? Because I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea and this to cause you any problems." And Meryl Streep's like, "No, dog, I'm DTF. Like, let's meet at the bridge."
Yeah, I know where this is going. You know where this is going. The Academy of Motion Picture Awards, they know where this is going.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows what we're going to get into.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to split that fucking atom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like a nuclear explosion about to happen in somebody's pants.
Yes.
So then they do their second date. We know he actually comes and she goes and she takes, I assume, all the family savings, because after she finds out they're going out again, she dumps out like a coffee tin of money onto the counter and goes shopping for herself and buys her a nice dress and everything. I'm like, well, usually, all the money in the coffee can, that's saved for like an emergency, right?
I would think so.
In my mind. So I think like, little Billy's college fund just fucking went to a new dress and,
That was to buy a mate cow for that 4-H cow that they were taking around.
Yeah. So they do their second date, and this is when it gets real steamy.
Oh, yeah.
This is when we finally have the relations. She finally comes down. Oh, what was weird?
You call it relations? like we're trying to get a PG. It's just two old people bumping up.
In the 1960s, sir, they were having relations. So they go out, they do the whole check out the other bridge and everything, and come back, and they both get cleaned up. So like she lets him take a bath or shower, and then she goes and takes a bath. And this is where we kind of start to see the horniness level just keeps rising and rising and rising for Meryl Streep. She's in the tub, and in the voiceover, she's kind of like, I knew the water that was touching me had just run against his body right before, and I found it arousing, and I was like, I'm kind of aroused myself, honestly. Like, this is kind of sexy.
It's the thirstiest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. So then she comes down in her new dress, and as soon as she walks in that new dress, Clint Eastwood is like, well, this is not just going to be dinner. I think at that point. I think he already knew that, but I think at this point, everybody involved is putting on a little bit of a show, and we know what's happening. And they have a little dance, and then he goes to kiss her, and Clint Eastwood, I gotta tell you, for a guy who's sleeping with another man's wife, he is very self-aware and is giving all the opportunities for her not to do this. Because, he calls her and says, hey, I don't want you to have any issues. And then as they're about to kiss, he's like, if you want me to stop, just tell me. And she's like, nobody's telling you to stop, bro.
Yeah. No, keep it coming.
Yeah, and they get right into it.
She looks at her calendar. She's like, no, we good. We good.
Yeah. So, I mean, to his credit, they're both doing something wrong here, but he is self-aware enough to, like, not want to put her into a bad situation. Like, he's out of here in 4 days. He's taking pictures of some bridges. There's plenty of housewives in Iowa, I'm sure. He can find one that, isn't going to have a problem. So he gives her, plenty of chances to get out of this, and she at no point wants to. She is smitten.
And this is like when they revert to teenagers, because they just start getting weird all over the house.
They do. Where all the sex in the kitchen floor,
in Dad's bed,
in the tub, which that was not a body double. There can't be. And honestly, I think Meryl Streep maybe does have some big boobs.
Whew.
I don't know. I was hot for Meryl Streep this entire movie. I don't know what to say.
I could agree with that.
I was shocked at how hot I was for Meryl Streep. So then the next day they do a little. They decide they're not going to work. They're just going to have a day to themselves and get as far away from town as they can.
Well, yeah, because you don't want anybody seeing.
Yeah, you don't want anybody seeing.
He's already parking his car back behind the barn.
Yeah, so much to the point where they go out and they have a nice day. Meryl Streep all of a sudden is no longer in like weird 1960s dresses anymore. She's in like jeans and like a sensible top, which I don't know why. It seems
without a bra, as they say.
Yeah, it seems strange to me because I don't know why. Like, it was the one point where I felt like they were wearing like clothes more modern to the time, and it didn't fit the aesthetic of the rest of the movie. So it kind of threw me for a minute. She just looked totally different in that one day. Like, hair was different, jeans and a like button-up top. I don't know where the fuck I'm going with this.
I was there for it.
Yeah, I did. I was too. Like I said, hot for Meryl Streep this entire movie. She looked real good in that scene. But so much so they want to get away from the prying eyes of the people of Iowa. they go
nothing to do there but till dirt, raise cows, and gossip.
So they go to an all African American jazz club off of the interstate.
The Blue Note.
Is that what it was called?
Yes.
The Blue Note?
I actually have this down because I actually enjoyed the music just about through this entire movie.
Yeah, and it wasn't like there wasn't a big score. I don't feel like I didn't notice like a lot of music being used. It was usually like background music, like they would turn the radio on, or
but it seemed to be a big part of it. Like, it always cuts to him in the kitchen, turning the music up,
They
and
yeah they
picking
are
the right song.
they're always trying to listen to the radio. Yeah, they're always putting the radio on, which I enjoyed most of it. A lot of it was oldies like 1960s music, which I'm a sucker for. So
Yeah. But the Blue Note was like, that's like, I don't know about you, but when I watch a movie set in the 50s or 60s, all I can think about is how excruciating it must have been to even live in that time.
yes,
Like, everybody's pent up. There's just this undertone of hate about everybody.
yeah,
But when I see a scene that takes place in like a 60s juke joint, I am so jealous. Like, I want to be there. I want to go
yeah.
there and watch like a live blues band in the 60s play at the Blue Note. Sounds awesome.
yeah, absolutely. If I could go back to a different time, it would be probably the 60s just for the music alone.
Yeah.
Not for all the hate and civil unrest, but the music,
The music.
that'd be great.
If I'd gone back to the 60s, it'd probably draft me. It would be great. I'd get to hear Fortunate Son a lot.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Always in the helicopter. It's always playing in the helicopter.
Absolutely.
So this is our third day of the I think 4-day affair, and on the fourth day it all kinds of falls apart. Right?
The implosion.
The implosion.
The implosion has to come.
There's definitely an implosion, and
My favorite implosion so far.
yeah, it was a really good. Oh God, it broke my heart. Honestly, I'll be honest. This was another movie. Did not cry, but got real friggin' close.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. It was a very close. There are a couple times actually, but this scene for me, I kind of feel like, I take that back. I think the implosion was on the third day because the fourth day is a little different. So the third day is like a mini implosion that leads into the bigger implosion. I guess we'll call
Is
it.
the morning of the fourth day, right?
It's evening. Well, it's kind of.
They played a little fast and loose, I think, with this 4-day timeline.
Let's call it midday. But after this date where they finally get back, I feel like Meryl Streep kind of, it's starting to sink in for her that, this isn't going to work. And she's looking for reasons for it not to work. So
Pick a fight and make it end so that it doesn't hurt
exactly.
later.
So she kind of says to him, like, how many other women are there like me out there? You're the loose and free guy. You say you don't need anything. You just need everything. Like, you want to meet people all the time. And so,
And my second favorite line of this. Are you about to say this line?
No, I'm not.
I don't want to take this line away from you.
Oh, is it?
She says, "Do you want more eggs, or shall we just fuck on the linoleum?"
She does. That's the one. So this is a very rare time. This movie's rated PG-13.
Yeah.
You get one fuck in a PG-13 movie, but it cannot refer to the act of having sex.
Oh, really?
That makes it an R-rating movie. So this movie was actually rated R just for that one line. And Clint Eastwood had to go and kind of appeal and give his case to the ratings board, and they knocked it down to a PG-13. But that one line almost made this movie an R-rated movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, what a line.
Yeah, it is a great line. It is a great line.
Because, then they're, the implosion happens, but they're over it pretty quick and they're embracing.
Yeah.
If they could have fit 2 fucks in this movie,
Uh-huh.
I would have loved for, right there where they're embracing, he just leans into her and goes, "Can I still get that fuck on the linoleum?" That would have been
Is that
perfect.
still an option?
Yeah, is that still a thing?
Yeah, so you kind of find out, she's starting this fight, and he basically says, like, I don't want to, I act like I don't need you because I don't want to lose you.
Yes.
And then he breaks down and has, like, a really emotional, like, scene for Clint Eastwood, just where he's crying and, turns his back to the camera, and, he's just kind of breaking down, and that's when they finally embrace, and she realizes that he does love her and care about her, and this isn't, like, just a fling for him either. And then the next day we see, that night, I think even they're in bed, and she just tells him, "Take me away. Take me somewhere away from here. Take me to, I want to go with you.
Take me to Africa." You ever have sex so good it takes you to Africa?
I have not, no.
Toto's playing in the background.
I was trying to think of a way to work Toto in there. So the next day we kind of get a scene of her packing her bags, bringing all of her luggage down. They sit down to have dinner. So I think it is at night. And Clint Eastwood's just getting the vibes. Like he says, "You're not coming, are you?" And she can't do it. She can't figure out a reason to go. She doesn't want to leave the family. Like, she just knows, like, if she leaves, what they have is not going to be the same, because it's this pure, like, just emotional connection that they have. But if she has to leave her whole family for it, she's going to be thinking about that all the time. And it's going to cause her to resent him, and they're not going to be able to stay in love.
I can't really condone the Freaky 4 Days, but I can respect her being like, you know what, I kind of dug my plot here. Like, I have my husband, my kids,
and I
can't just roll out of there for this guy that's going to be dead in like 8 years.
This was the 60s, so you're not getting divorced.
No,
that's not a thing then. Like, you're stuck with the hand you're dealt. Like, you married this farmer, like, you're stuck with this farmer because you cannot get divorced at this point.
My grandmother shot my grandfather, and they were married for 40 years after that in separate homes.
Can we do an episode just about that? There's so much to unpack right now.
Yeah, she shot him in the stomach, and they didn't get a divorce. That's the way that worked in the 60s.
Wow.
Yeah, still married for 40 years. Different homes, different lovers, one bullet.
Holy shit. We're going to dig into that at some point. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, CJ's fucked up white trash life.
Yeah.
Coming September to Spotify.
Wow. But yeah, so that's kind of the final implosion, where he just says, all right, well, if you're not coming with me, then I have to leave. And he says to her something along the lines of, like, you know, stuff like this only happens like once in a lifetime, like this kind of connection. And he takes off. He drives out in his truck. She chases him out the door. And I almost cried at that point too. For there was something about, like, her face, like when she gets to the drive and he's already halfway down and he's just gone and she knows he's gone and she's crying. God damn it. There's no wonder everybody says Meryl Streep's such a great actress, because she's a fucking great actress.
Oh, she is a
like that
fucking killer.
Just in the face she was making, like, I felt so much emotion for her, and just like, wow.
He split the atom of her heart.
He did split the atom of her heart. That's beautiful.
Do you think at this point, right now. Do you think at this point, like, he got in the truck, he leaves, he just drives over to Illinois, goes to his house, puts all this camera shit in the closet, and he's like, damn, that worked.
Yeah. Well, who's next?
Yeah.
No, God, I hope not. I certainly hope not.
He crosses Iowa off the map.
I certainly hope not. So that's kind of the next day her family comes home, and it's just, oh, you feel for her. Because, like, this family just rolls back in, and it's just, she's right back to choring, cooking, cleaning, and just depressing ass life that she has. And it's just, that's pretty much kind of like where we end it. We do get one more.
We've seen clips of her children as adults.
Yeah.
So you know they don't get any better. Like, no, they're just pains in the ass.
The sister's not as bad as the brother. But even that, like, it's, if the actors were better, I think it's just the acting for me with those two. Like, they're just, I mean, yes, they're definitely kind of whiny and self-absorbed, and they both have their own relationship issues, which this whole thing, like, reading the story of their mother, and they just kind of discover some stuff about themselves, and you can see where they both kind of decide to make changes in the relationships they're in present day because of her, which is fine. But just the acting with those two, like, they were just fucking god-awful, just the worst. But yeah, we get one more heartbreaking scene for me, and I think this is the closest I was to crying this whole movie, is she goes into town with her husband, whose name is Dick Johnson.
Just a reminder, everybody.
Yeah, just a reminder. So they're doing like a little shopping trip. He's getting some grain and some whatever farmers get. And she's sitting in the pickup truck outside the store, and it's pouring down rain. And she looks through the rain and she sees his pickup truck. She sees Robert's pickup truck. And for my money, there is not a sadder looking person on this earth than just Clint Eastwood standing in the pouring down goddamn rain.
I have that in here, like that. Nothing worse than a wet Clint Eastwood.
Oh my God. He looked so sad. Like, I wanted to bring him in and like make him a hot cup of soup. Like, the poor son of a bitch looked so depressed. And
get off my lawn. Come on in, buddy.
Yeah. So, you know, as he's kind of walking towards her, and she gives him a smile, and then he abruptly kind of like turns face and goes back to the truck. And her husband comes and gets in the truck
and starts beeping at him. That was a little awkward.
She is just shook, because like she did not expect to see him. I don't think. She's with her husband. She knows what happened. They kind of do a U-turn, come up and end up right behind him at the light. And she, she's sitting in the pickup truck outside the store, and his pouring down in this narration is saying, I thought at that moment as he walked away that it was over, that he didn't want anything to do with me, and it was that easy for him to walk away. And they're sitting behind him at the light, and he reaches over to the glove box, and she'd given him a cross of hers earlier on in the movie.
Yes.
It was like a keepsake of hers. And he reaches up and he puts it around the rearview mirror, and that's when you know, like, he still loves her, he still cares, he hasn't stopped. The light turns green, and he sits. And he's waiting. And the husband's like, what is he waiting for? And you get this great scene of Meryl Streep just reaching over and grabbing the door handle, slowly starting to turn it. And you're like, get out of the goddamn truck. Go get in that truck and leave this fucking farmer behind. Because that's what she's thinking. Like, she's ready to, like, she's really torn. She's thinking about just hopping out of this truck and going. And then the fucking husband honks the horn. And then Clint Eastwood has to drive off. And she just breaks down in the car, just bawling. And that got me too. There were a lot of times in this movie where I was on the verge.
And in true 60s fashion, I imagine he's just like, damn it, woman, what are you blabbering about now?
Well, it did. It almost was like that. Like, she was crying for a long time, and he kept looking over and then looking back and looking over. And I was like, is he going to fucking ask her what's wrong at any point? And he finally does. He goes, what's the matter? Would you please tell me what's wrong? And she's just like, I just need a minute. And then, that guy, he was like, broads. Am I right? Like, that's what he was thinking. Like, emotional. Like,
I mean, I got to give it to the husband. He was dull as fucking paper, but I mean, he wasn't a bad guy. Here's another like Cyclops sort of thing. Except in this movie, just like you were hoping for a few weeks ago, they don't end up together.
Right. This is the one. This is the first one.
You asked for it. This is it. And I think that's probably why I like this movie.
I still like. God, maybe I'm a bad person because I'm like, I wish he would just leave. Like, leave the family and go with Clint Eastwood and be happy somewhere. Like, the entire time I was thinking that. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely, like
you want it to happen, but I think I would have respected this movie less if it did.
Yeah, you're probably right. But it's true to life. I mean, she's in a marriage with a guy who's not a bad guy. He's a nice enough guy. She's just bored and she's not happy. And that happens in relationships. You end up in a relationship with someone and you're just not happy. And at this point in time in the 1960s, it wasn't an option to just get out of town and go off with somebody. Because even if she had, I mean, you saw the way they treated that woman who cheated on her husband.
Yeah.
If this guy's wife would have just disappeared one day and ran off with some photographer from the National Geographic, his life would have been hell.
He'd have been a pariah.
Yeah, the rest of the time he lived in that town, the kids, they would have been talking about the kids, they'd have been talking about the dad. She would have ruined a lot of lives.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's a reason she didn't go. So, yeah, he was boring. They definitely made it apparent that he was boring, but not a bad guy.
He was clean.
Yeah, he was clean. Clean guy. Just not what she wanted. So yeah, and that's kind of where we end. Years and years and years later, we get Meryl Streep in old age makeup. And I was really worried because, her husband, Dick Johnson, passes away. And, there's about 3 more years left of her life. We kind of get that exposition in the beginning of the movie because they're saying, dad died then. Clint Eastwood's character died 3 years later. And then they're like, do you think mom? No, she couldn't have. So you're kind of wondering if, like, maybe there's going to be some Clint Eastwood in old age makeup. And I was like, how the fuck are they going to make this guy look any older than he does right now?
Well, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Let's say very similar set of circumstances. You
Okay.
have this weird torrid affair for 4 days.
Okay.
You decide to come clean. Do you put in writing, the same way you're like, hey, let me write a little notebook,
Right.
TM, about this so my kids can read about it? Do you put in all the weird sex stuff? Like, do your kids really need to know? Could you just we made love, period, next page? Or is it, we fucked on the linoleum until we went to Africa in our minds?
Yeah, I mean, she filled out 3 notebooks over a 4-day.
Yeah.
Over a 4-day thing. So there was no detail left out. Like, these kids know if he was circumcised. They know of any weird moles he might have had. They've got the exact measurements of Clint Eastwood's penis. Like, I'm sure it's all in there.
That's what I mean. And they even reference that at a point where she is reading about her mom getting down with this old wrinkly dude.
Yeah.
And the son comes and picks up the book and is like, what the hell? Why am I reading this? And she gives the look of well, this is 3/4 of these books or the sex scenes.
Yeah. They, at no point do they go, well, man, let's just skip a few pages ahead and see if we can get ahead of this a little bit. So, but you find out,
Oh God, my bed.
So we get the old age makeup Meryl Streep. You do find out she tried to reach out and contact him after her husband died, like probably immediately after her husband died. She's like, thank Christ, I've been waiting for this
Finally.
for 40 years.
Feeding this guy arsenic for 6 months.
Yeah. But she can't find him. And then, a few years go by and she gets a letter in the mail. And it's a letter from him and a letter from his lawyer and all of his personal belongings. So he sends her, which isn't much. It's a box. It's 3 cameras and some stuff that she gave him. So not a lot of personal belongings for Clint Eastwood's character. But yeah, you find out that, he's passed away and his final wishes were to be spread off the bridge. And that's how she decides what she wants to do. And the kids show a lot of growth from being annoying assholes who don't want to cremate her in the beginning to becoming annoying assholes that cremate her and throw her over the bridge. So it's a nice, happy ending. You like
also, their family issues are all solved.
Yeah.
Magically.
Yeah, exactly. You like to think that
Those poor kids had to hear their parents getting freaky in a hotel room.
You like to think that Meryl and Clint are just blowing around in the wind somewhere. So yeah, I think that about covers the covered bridges. We've covered the covered bridges.
We've covered every bridge
of Madison County. So I think it's time, in true You've Got Mail's fashion, to move on to our grand gestures portion of the podcast, CJ.
Yeah.
Would you like to shout out anything in this movie? Would you like? Was there a certain part of this movie you'd like to lay down on the linoleum floor and give a good hard Richard Johnson to?
Oh my God, the old dick. One of the things I love about movies that were shot before HD, and I think I've said this on here before, was that they weren't expecting to people to ever see the real details in the movie.
Right.
And I loved when it got to old Meryl Streep, reminiscing. And so in movies, theater, things like that, when they want you to look older, one of the tricks they do is they smear Elmer's glue on your face, and it makes your face wrinkle up.
Oh.
As it dries, it pulls your face tight in certain areas.
That makes sense.
And wrinkle up. Back when they were shooting this stuff on film, you'd never be able to tell the Elmer's glue. On this movie, she looks like she got into a fight with a group of kindergartners.
I didn't even notice that.
With paste sticks. Her face was covered in glue.
I didn't even notice.
No, it was so
I thought she had dry skin. I didn't know.
But other than that, this movie, I don't know, kind of hit on a lot of spots already. I talked about my favorite lines that she had. That every once in a while, this movie would make sure you were still watching. You weren't looking at your phone.
Yeah.
Suddenly, she just breezes it out on the front porch, or she drops a line like Hiroshima.
Yeah.
It was kind of good that way.
Yeah, there were a few parts where, if I was getting distracted, if I was, jotting down a note or something from, something that had just happened a little bit ago, or something came to me, and then I'd hear something out of the corner of my ear, I'm like, I gotta rewind this, because I don't know what just happened, but it sounded like it was important. It sounded like it was important. A lot. Yeah.
And I did I read a thing about it, because Clint Eastwood acted and directed in this.
Yes.
And there is a scene during the implosion. He turns away from her and starts crying.
Uh-huh.
Were you going to talk about this?
No, but I know of it.
Yeah, he turns away from her and he starts crying, and you can see it kind of physically on his body.
Yeah, and you can see, as he turns, his face kind of winces up. It's obvious he's about to cry.
So Meryl Streep apparently said to him, hey, this is your shot. Apparently, if you're an actor, when you have that scene, you want close-ups. You want to show people what you can do as an actor.
Yeah, right.
That's your screen time.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, okay, well, let's turn the cameras around. Let's see what that looks like. And he said, no, I'm good.
It made more sense because he didn't want her to see him cry, so he didn't want the audience to see him cry.
He just said, hey, this scene plays better with my back to the camera.
Yeah.
And I want it to look that way. And she said this is the minute when they were filming that she realized this film was going to be a hit.
Yeah.
Because he was worried about it as a director and not about an actor. He wasn't like, oh, I need my time to shine in this. He's like, no, the whole movie is going to fucking shine.
Yeah.
So I kind of dug that. That's probably the only thing I really have to say about it. I thought that story was cool.
Yeah, I like that too. I did like that a lot. That was a really good scene. And like I said, I think too, I think he didn't want her to see him cry as a character.
Yeah.
So that's why it played well, because he didn't want people to see him cry either. It was supposed to be I'm hiding this because I don't want you to see how much I care. Yeah. So it was definitely an artistic choice in the movie that directly correlated with the character not wanting her to see him cry. He didn't want the audience to see him cry either. And not because, that's how I took it anyway. And when I read that too, that's kind of where my mind went.
So what do you got on this?
So just a couple things, I think. So what I really liked is the book was major success that this movie is based on, but received horribly by critics. Just it was basically just
the book or the movie.
The book.
Oh, really?
The book is basically just a Harlequin romance novel. Like people said it was, which makes sense. I mean, the guy wrote it in 11 days, and
it is, isn't it? This movie is, isn't it?
Yeah, it was written in 11 days, and by a guy who'd never written a novel before. But they apparently thought there was enough horny housewives in America that it would be a success, which it turned out to be. But as far as critics are concerned, it was called drivel, bad writing, just awful. Meryl Streep actually tried to read the book for the movie, and she said it was an insult to literature.
Wow!
and couldn't finish the book. So I thought that was pretty good that they actually took a book that probably did not have a lot of depth to it and was just kind of, trash, to put it lightly, into a pretty emotional performance and movie from everybody involved. Aside from the
Lord of the Rings.
Aside from the shitty kids, which the shitty kids weren't actually in the book, I don't believe. I heard that the guy that did this, the script treatment for this came up with that, and they actually really liked that idea. I just wish they got better people to portray them. The other thing that I liked
was Nicolas Cage busy that day?
I don't know. The other thing that I find interesting, Clint Eastwood, as a director, decided they wanted to shoot this movie in chronological order. So, all the scenes between him and Meryl Streep were shot in order of the way they happened in the movie. So their first meeting is their first meeting. And so, because he wanted to basically build this relationship between two people who had never met before. So this was the first time they'd worked together. They had brief interactions before the movie filmed, but they didn't really know each other. So he kind of wanted that energy throughout the movie where we're just meeting up until the point and we're going to get to know each other as we do it. So that was all filmed chronologically. There was a meeting before they shot. I guess it was like a little dinner. It was the first time Meryl Streep and Clint Eastwood had met. And I guess when he met her, he leaned into her and was like, I hope you're not going to do any kind of weird accent on this. And Meryl Streep had already decided, she'd already modeled her Italian accent and what she was going to do. So she came out for that first line. That first line was basically like, "Oh, I guess you're not in Iowa, huh?" And did her awful Italian accent.
God, I had no idea.
And Clint Eastwood just rolled with it and never said anything. So she's like, "I guess it's okay." But yeah, he did not want her to do a weird Italian accent.
That's great.
And she just went with it, and he was fine with it. So yeah, that's that. That's my grand gestures for this one. Shall we attempt to turn this chick flick into a dick flick?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Yes?
Yes.
All right. There's a great part in this. As I mentioned earlier, they're at the bridge. Very first bridge they're at. There's multiple bridges. No montages, but a lot of bridges.
Yes.
Where he offers her a drink. And this is her chance. And if he was a serial killer, it's way too late for her. But this is her chance to kind of scope him out a little bit.
Right.
She walks to the back of the truck and she opens up his bag and she finds all these National Geographic books.
Yeah.
Because that's who he works for. At least that's what his cover is.
Yeah.
No, in my chick flick to a dick flick, and I'm going to a little raunchy here.
Okay.
She opens that. Hustlers fall out.
Oh!
Not just playboys, straight hustlers.
He's really there working on a story called The Bridges of Madison County.
And she gets pulled into the world. She is oh. Next thing you know, he's still taking pictures of her.
Yeah.
But she don't have any clothes on.
This is also kind of like the origin story for MILF porn.
Yeah.
The first ever bored housewife nude photo shoot. So
that's how he starts it. He starts an entire industry right there.
Yeah. At
some point he gets shot in the back. He's in a wheelchair.
And that man's name was Robert Brazzers.
The origins of Bobby Brazzers.
Yeah. Oh shit!
All right, that's where I'm closing it out. I'm not going to get any detail. I had enough people telling me about are talking to me about Zach Galifianakis getting weird. I don't need to do it about Clint Eastwood.
All right. So this is mine. We're gonna go kind of a psychological, delve into madness scenario here. We start out the movie the same way. Francesca is going nowhere with her life. She's unhappy. Family is just dragging her down. Not what she wanted. Moved here from Italy. Wanted to be like a movie star or something, and here she is stuck in Iowa working on a cornfield. As soon as the family leaves for their 4-day excursion, not 20 seconds later, this guy rolls up in this pickup truck. He's handsome. He's everything she wants, everything he needs. Little suspicious that he would pull up right after the family leaves, right? We find out that Robert is entirely made up in her head.
Oh.
And the whole movie is just her. We get a bunch of scenes of her just traipsing around town, like, with nobody there. But she's, like, talking to somebody. She's doing, and it's just basically her just going completely mad to the point that when, like,
she's
the family...
Fight Clubbing a better love life?
Yes, she's Fight Clubbing a better love life. So by the time the family gets back, she's like, I have to tell you something. I've met someone. This is Robert. And there's fucking nobody there. And she's just absolutely insane at this point. And then they have to commit her. And that's just the end of the movie. Is just she's just gone off the deep end entirely and made up this romantic partner because she's so unhappy with her life that she goes completely batshit crazy.
She's just wait. It ends with her just kind of like rocking her head back in the padded cell, and she's like, "His name was Robert Kincaid." His name was Robert Kincaid.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yep. So that's mine. I like yours better.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
Yours is swell.
Let's Nick Cage it.
Yes, you go first.
I will.
Because I got some shit for you today.
Oh, nice. I went pretty easy on this one. I mean, there's only about 4. I mean, there's a lot of actors in this movie, just like side characters, but there's really there's 4 main characters in this movie, and 2 of them are just the absolute worst people. So I decided to take the worst one. The son.
Okay.
Which, let me double check my notes here. His name is Michael Johnson.
Wow.
Well, that's the son. That's the character's name. Actor.
So we got son of Dick Dick is Mike Dick.
That's right. He's played by a guy named Victor Slezak.
Yeah, he would be.
He would be, yeah. So Victor Slezak was in a movie called Just Cause with Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes.
Oh, okay.
From the 90s. It actually came out, I think, a year or 2 before Bridges of Madison County. Sean Connery, obviously. John Mason in The Rock.
Yes.
Which stars Nick Cage as Stanley Godspeed.
Going home, fucking a prom queen.
That's right. So that's mine.
Nice.
Pretty easy.
Well, I have some great news for you.
I love it.
Not great news.
Oh, tell me you got a hold of Nicolas Cage.
I'm not going to put him in this movie.
Oh, okay.
Because after doing some internet sleuthing, I found the email for Nicolas Cage's talent agency.
Oh, shit.
I'm not going to say what its name is because I don't want either of our listeners finding this person.
No, yeah, we don't want any undue harassment.
So I'm going to read you the following email that was sent in pure desperation.
Okay.
To blankety blank. Good evening. I am writing as one half of the hosting parties of the podcast You've Got Mails. We are a podcast based on the concept of 2 average men watching and reviewing romance movies. Our original content concept was to have a Nicolas Cage movie review podcast, but found the market to be more than saturated. We continue to include our love for Mr. Cage with weekly segments such as 6 Degrees of Nicolas Cage and How Do We Get Nicolas Cage on Our Podcast. I believe that second segment would make the intention of this email clear. I understand this may be a fool's request, but it never hurts to try. Thanks in advance. And if you speak to Mr. Cage, wish him a happy belated birthday from 2 average guys in Pittsburgh.
I love it. I don't know how that couldn't work.
It's
only a matter of time, people.
36 hours so far, but it's over a weekend. So I'm hoping
they're not working on the weekend.
I'm hoping Mr. Blankety Blank is taking it easy this weekend. Maybe they partied it.
That guy probably got the email, but he doesn't want to bother Nicolas Cage on a weekend because he's got a lot of things going on.
His birthday just passed.
Yeah,
he's probably just chilling out. He probably just finished whatever he was doing with that dinosaur skeleton, trancing around in the streets with it or something.
Absolutely.
We're gonna get him.
Got it. I'm very excited about this. It's only a matter of time, people.
It's only a matter of time.
All right. Let's rate this thing. I'm going first. 4.25.
4.25?
I like this movie
Very
a
nice.
lot. The acting was, like I said, if I take any points off of this, it's for like the scene set in the present day with the kids. And it's just the acting and their characters are so terrible. Like, I didn't like them at all. Even though they both had like their redemption arcs towards the end, they never became likable for me. But other than that, like, just this movie, it made me feel something. It was well done, acted very well. Clint Eastwood, hell of a director, hell of an actor. Meryl Streep, I fucking get it.
Yes.
Like, no wonder they talk about her as being such a great actress. I mean, honestly, I haven't seen a ton of Meryl Streep movies, I don't think. This one did it for me. Just overall, really good movie. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It took me on a roller coaster of emotions.
Oh, so wait till we watch When the Devil Wears Prada.
Give me all the Meryl Streep at this point. I'm ready to go. So, yeah, 4.25. Final answer.
I was actually going the exact same thing.
Really?
4.25. This movie was everything that I thought The Notebook was going to be.
Yeah.
Like a period piece where the love was responsible.
Yeah.
It didn't ruin everybody's lives.
It very well could have. I
Like,
wouldn't call it responsible love, but it was. They were definitely walking a fine line.
No, actually, she goes so far out of her way to not ruin anybody's life over this and still get some loving.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate that. This seemed like normal human beings in this movie.
Yeah, no,
not
that's 100%. Yeah, there
sociopaths.
was definitely like, real emotions, real feelings. Like, it definitely.
If I dock it for anything, it is, of course, the adult children and, well, also the young children.
Yeah.
They're just all terrible all
Yeah, they
around.
really are.
And also, like,
That was
Clint
good
Eastwood,
consistency.
I'm just not a big fan of Clint Eastwood. Like, him and his, like, the older he gets, the worse of a human being he gets in my eyes. And I just can't really like it. And when you're watching a movie, no matter how good it is, because he is a phenomenal actor, and he's probably even a better director, it still adds a little bit of, like, taint to that lens that I just can't get behind. And on top of that, he's also one of those tough guys that, you know, if he would have actually ever got punched in the nose, he probably would have cried.
Oh.
Like, he's one of those kind of tough guys.
All right.
So, I don't know. That was it.
All right. Well, if Clint Eastwood, if you're watching, I don't necessarily agree with CJ, so please don't. You know, if you're going to come beat one of us up, make sure it's CJ. What did you say? 94? Is that how old it is? How old he
Yeah, I
is?
think he's like 94.
Bring it on, old
He
man.
probably could
We
take
ain't
me.
scared. Come get some.
Yeah.
All right. So shall we roll for our next movie?
Well, let's roll a movie up.
All right. Let me get to the list and check the count of where we're at here. We are at 185 movies.
185. I like it. All right, let's hit that generate button. Holy shit.
What?
We have another low number.
Really?
We have movie number 5.
5.
I gotta really see how this random number generator works.
Oh my. This is another, I think, probably same time frame as, right around the same time as this movie. Probably same kind of feel, same kind of vibe.
Uh-oh.
Steel Magnolias.
About damn time. I actually might be able to get my wife to watch this.
Oh,
with
really?
me. I think she's the one that put this on our list.
Have you ever seen this?
Not at all. I
Me
know
neither.
a guy loses a leg.
Really?
That's all I know.
Shit. I do know, I mean, I know it's got some heavy hitters in it, right? It's Julia Roberts. Is Meryl Streep in this? I don't
Kathy
know.
Bates?
Kathy Bates, I think, is in it. Hang on, we're going to
I
find
remember
out.
this is a movie that I remember coming in from playing outside. Streetlights came on. Grandma was watching this. She had finished cleaning her gun. And
Grandpa was nowhere to be found.
Grandpa was living in the South Side at that point.
Oh boy, this is old.
And yeah, that's all I remember was a scene. A guy loses his leg.
I'm going to tell you, I'm very excited for this now. So we've got some older actresses for the time. We've got Shirley MacLaine,
Excellent.
Olympia Dukakis. Then we've also got Sally Field, Julia Roberts. Let me tell you why I'm real excited, though. Dolly Parton. I had no idea. I'm very excited about this.
Oh, she's up there on the pedestal.
This
Gotta love Dolly.
This is a movie that pivots around the lively Truvy Jones Louisiana beauty parlor. Another Louisiana movie.
Oh, wait, what was our... Oh, okay.
Girls
yeah,
Trip. This has to be better than that, right?
Daryl Hannah.
Yeah.
My God. Sam Shepard. Okay. Dylan McDermott.
We got them all. It's like a who's who of just romantic movies of the period, I think.
wow, this movie's gonna
And our first
be good.
and our first appearance of rom-com overlord Julia Roberts.
Yes,
So we got that going for us.
she's been looming.
She has been looming. She's like a...
We're trying so hard to get Nick Cage on the podcast. Julia Roberts is standing in the backyard.
She really is. Just not even for any reason. She's just hoping another movie will pop up around her.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, until next time when we discuss Steel Magnolias and some poor man losing his leg, stay romantic and don't be shit at each other.
Good. Now get out of my house so I get split the atom.
Jesus.